Welcome back. Fall means it's time to go back to school and all the activities start up again. Everything gets so hectic, but it's really nice when you can still take that time to get the family together for dinner and really spend time to connect even in the midst of this busy season.
That's right. We're going to share some of our favorite tips for getting the family to the table without any complaints. A great menu is key, and in the magazine we give you a week's worth of delicious entrees to help you along the way.
Now, the first recipe we're going to show you can be made actually for any night of the week. It'll go with any of your menus. And what better way to get the family to the table than by having the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting through the house. So we're going to be making our Make-Ahead angel rolls. They're really easy to do. They're absolutely delicious. You're going to love them. So we're going to start with some whole wheat flour, some white flour, and also some salt. I'm going to add some sugar to this. And then I'll be adding some yeast also. Now don't be intimidated because this is a yeast bread. Actually, we're using the rapid rise yeast, so that makes the recipe a little bit more quick to make, and it also makes it pretty foolproof. Now this is a traditional southern bread, and so we also are going to be adding some baking soda and some baking powder to this recipe. Your finished roll is actually almost a cross between a roll and a biscuit. It's really an interesting texture. I'm going to stir this together until I have it all well combined. Once it's well combined, then I have some buttermilk. I put that in the microwave along with some butter. We want to heat that up until it's fairly warm, about 120 to 130 degrees. Then we're just going to stir this together. There's no mixer needed. You don't have to ever knead this dough. It's just so simple to do. Okay, once the dough is stirred together, it's just a nice soft dough, we're going to portion it into rolls. I like to use a scoop to make the rolls all an even size. This is about a 1/4 cup size. Put a little bit of flour on the board. I'll just dust both sides of the rolls with a little bit of flour. And then I can put them onto a parchment-lined baking sheet. Once the rolls are all shaped, then you just brush the tops of them lightly with some melted butter. Now these are going to get covered with some plastic wrap. You want to set them aside to rise for about 30 minutes. That's the only rising period that they're going to need. And when you're done, you can go ahead and you can bake these immediately so that you'll have freshly baked bread right away. But what I really love to do is I go ahead and I take the whole baking sheet and I pop that into the freezer. Then when they're frozen solid, I can go ahead and put them into a freezer container like this. And when you're ready to have hot baked bread, you just pull out 2 or 5 or however many rolls you're wanting to bake that evening. In 15 minutes, you'll have this wonderful fresh baked bread ready to go.
You're not going to have to ask twice for people to come to the table with that.
Absolutely not.
Now, to go with this, one of our recipe ideas for the week is our turkey with orange sauce. For this, I'm using the turkey fillet. You'll recognize it right away. It's got Dierberg's signature keep fresh packaging. Just one more way that Dierberg's ensures that the meat you buy is the finest quality. So I'm going to take that out. And what I like about this particular cut is it allows you to have turkey, even on a busy weeknight, cook so quickly. For seasoning, I'm going to keep it really easy. Just some Italian seasoning on both sides. Make sure my oven is up to heat. Add a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to cook these in the skillet until they're well browned on both sides. Now the turkey is browned on both sides. It's not cooked all the way through. I'm going to put it in the oven to finish up. It's a 400-degree oven. It'll take about 18 to 20 minutes. I have some that I put in the oven a little bit earlier. I'm just going to let that rest for a good 5 minutes before I slice it, so it'll be nice and juicy. The pan, I'm going to adjust the heat a little bit. I want to keep using the same pan. I'm going to use a little broth. That helps deglaze the pan. Any little brown bits in the pan are just going to make the sauce that much richer and more flavorful. I'll season it with some salt, white pepper, and a little Italian seasoning. That's the same herb blend I used on the turkey. Add a little garlic too. Then I've got a blend of orange juice and some flour. The flour is going to be the thickener for the sauce. I'll let this come to a boil, and in just a few minutes it'll thicken up. The sauce is thickened. I'm going to set that aside and just let it simmer for a few minutes while I get my side dish ready. Move my pan ready and let that preheat just a little bit. Now for this, I'm using one of my ringers in the kitchen. I always keep a box of this in the pantry. It's ready to make couscous. I also picked up some vegetables from the deli. This is going to make it super easy. Add a little olive oil to the skillet. Now the veggies are already pre-cooked, and they're in a nice julienne cut. Just put them in the olive oil and let them warm through. Now these have a really nice flavor base already. The couscous comes with a packet as well. I'm going to go ahead and add that now. I'm using the herb chicken because that goes along with the poultry that I'm serving. There are several different flavors. You can kind of experiment and see which one you like the best. I'll add a cup of water, and I'm just going to let this come to a boil. Okay, the water has reached a boil. I'll go ahead and put the couscous in, and that's really all you have to do. You'll turn off the heat and set the timer for 5 minutes. With a tight-fitting lid, it'll be done in no time. Now the couscous is done. I'm just shingling the turkey right alongside. I cut it into thin pieces along a bias just for a prettier presentation.
It looks wonderful and it smells so good too.
Now, for a family style meal like this, I don't know about you, but I like to serve it all on one platter. I think it just makes it a little bit more inviting for the family. You can serve the sauce right alongside and you're good to go.
Be wonderful. You can serve the rolls. I just topped the basket off with some nice freshly baked rolls. I wish you had smell-o-vision because that smell is so terrific, isn't it? If you want to make them even one step better, try serving them with the maple honey butter from Dierberg's Kitchen. It's one of their signature butters. And oh my gosh, that's wonderful with it too.
That's a meal in itself.
Yeah, really. Now the turkey and couscous is just one of the menu suggestions that you'll find in the Everybody Cooks magazine. So there's something for every night of the week. We're trying to do all the thinking for you so that you can have a delicious and a healthy meal on the table even when you're super busy.
Now for dessert, how about chocolate chip cookies?
Sounds good to me.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Barb and I get ready for the ultimate cookie throwdown. We'll see what favorite cookie is yours, so stay tuned.